Coach Q will begin with an opening statement, and then the floor is open for questions.
Happy to still be winning, guys. That's what it is, right? I thought that today was just one of those games to where we really wanted to speed the game up and play fast, and we did. Obviously, we had 71 possessions, which is great. Only had 7 turnovers, which was amazing. And that's what happens when you have 7 turnovers. You can score, 90 points. I thought second half we came out flat. We didn't make shots. But our defense held up, and that was the difference in the game, that our defense held up in the second half. I thought that we did a really good job of just staying after it and staying aggressive. There were times in that game when they cut it to 7, and we talked about that because they are a very good third quarter team, and exactly what we talked about at halftime. That the third quarter we had to come out ready to play, and I thought that we came out a little flat. They came out strong, but we did enough to hold on to the league and lead and never trail. I'm just really proud of our kids. Being in this conference and to be 3-0 right now is an amazing feat for us, because I think that people look at the conference and say, you're playing at home or you're playing on the road against certain teams that people expect you to beat. But this is a tough conference, and every night you have to be ready to compete, and it really just takes a lot out of you. But I thought that our kids just really did a really good job of just being tough, being aggressive. Tiana with the first triple-double in school history. Just an amazing game. Should have probably had 45, 50 if I wasn't yelling at her the entire game. But just really proud of our team, proud of our effort, and this one is all about them. That we prepared hard, and they really followed the game plan. And I thought that's the difference in the game. We really stuck to our game plan to speed the game up and to stay in our pressure. And I thought we did a good job of that.
Coach, multiple times you guys UNC kind of like waited out behind the defense and jumped out of transition a bit early. Obviously you guys are a fast-paced team. Do you feel like that was their way of trying to counter that a little bit?
Well, we knew they would leak out. We talked about that in our game prep. But when you're attacking the rim and you're attacking the paint, and sometimes a couple times we got the floor unbalanced where our 1 and our 2 were below the foul line. So obviously when they get a leak out, nobody's getting back, and it's something that we talked about. But obviously when you're trying to crash the boards and you're trying to rebound and you get your pressure set, you give some of it up a little bit. But we just got to do a better job of getting our back line back on defense when we make shots.
And they were beating you guys early in the game, but you guys got a little bit lucky with some missed layups and stuff. Is that a strategy that normally works for them, just from tape that you've watched them?
Well, they're a fast-paced team. They get the ball out of the net and they run the sideline to break off misses, and they leak their top guard out. So it's just something that they do. We hadn't gotten beat on it previously in previous years, but this year they kind of hit us with it. But at the end of the day, I thought that we did enough on our end, crashing the boards and making shots. They really limited those opportunities.
You mentioned the team came out flat in the second half. You had a team record 12 threes in the first half, not in the second half. Do you think that was just a factor of the team coming out flat, or was that a defensive effort by them as well, trying to cut down those threes?
Well, they did a good job of taking our perimeter away. So I have to give them a lot of credit on that. But we really wanted to attack the paint, and I thought that we did a really good job of getting in the paint and putting the ball on the floor and getting to the basket. So when they closed us out and they ran us off three-point line, my players did a really good job of attacking downhill. So it was a bit of both, but it was mostly their defensive scheme. And it seems for the second half to just not give up threes, but obviously give it 12 and 1.5. You got to go in the locker room and talk about that. And they did a good job of taking them away the second half.
I was going to ask you about that. You guys attacked the paint much more in the second half. Was that just because you guys were missing the threes, or was that a concerted effort you talked to the team?
Say it again. I didn't hear the first part.
I wanted to ask you about the attacking the paint more in the second half. Okay. Was that a concerted effort that you talked to the team about, or was that because of the threes weren't falling? Was that just natural?
Well, they took them away. They came out and closed out hard and ran us off spots, so we had to attack the paint and throw the ball inside. So we had to take what they gave us, and what they gave us was post feeds and playing off the bounce. So that's what we did.
Did you try to play like a half-court game with Tiana, just like kind of hold the ball up top a little bit, just have everybody settle into their spots?
Well, late in the game, we knew that they really pretty much weren't enough possessions for us to lose the game. So at some point, you just play time and score and play the possession game. So I knew that at the 5-minute mark, unless we totally imploded, that there wasn't enough possessions for them to come back and beat us. So I wanted to make sure that we shrunk the game to seal the victory.
What was the reason for the small amount of turnovers today?
I thought that we just did a good job of just, handling the ball. That's all them. Our players really did a great job of spreading the ball around. We ran a lot of dribble handoff stuff that's pretty much securing the ball and putting the ball in people's guts and letting them turn the corner. So it's numerous things, but the biggest thing is our team made a concerted effort to get a shot every time down the floor.
56 points in the first half against an ACC foe. I mean, and you scored in the first 2:30, so that was like 16 and a half minutes. You scored 56 points. Common denominators, was it just the three, or I mean, you were hitting all your threes? I mean, what did you see in that run that sort of put the game away there?
I think it was the threes. So we made 12 threes in the first half. So obviously, when you take that into account, right there, you're gonna have a big number. And I just thought that we just did a good job of coming out aggressive and pushing tempo, playing fast, and we got some opportunities early in the shot clock, and we took advantage of them.
Every game seems like we ask about Tiana, and it always amazes me because she's not a secret to other teams as well. Yet, very rarely does it seem like they have an answer for. Just getting your thoughts today about the way she kind of carried the team there.
She's just, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's funny because I was on her the entire game today. I thought she played awful. I got to the score table, so she had 34 and 10. I was like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. She's an amazing player, and I don't have an answer for her either. So I'm glad I don't have to play against her. I'm glad we got her because I can tell you right now, she's a tough guard. She can make shots. She plays off the bounce. She finds cutters. She finds open players, and she's just an amazing point guard.
What did you find to be on her about all game today?
Well, I really wanted us to get into our stuff earlier, to advance the ball in transition, and a couple of times I thought she missed a couple of players up the floor. She and I have been talking about that, so I was a little frustrated with that on my end, but I probably should be quiet because she's 34, 10, and 10, so I obviously don't know what I'm talking about.
One more question?
Do you guys have a name for a game where Tiana dominates by now? It seems like it happens all the time.
No, you make up one. We have it for next time. It's your job.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.